Hi students, welcome to Editorial Analysis of Vijayata IAS Academy. In today's newspaper, there is an article related to working women, what are the challenges faced by working women and what are the suggestions or improvements that can be done to improve the conditions of working women. Here this issue you can link it to issues related to women in GS paper 1 and in GS paper 2 welfare schemes for vulnerable sections of population. Here you can consider what are the schemes that are there for working women and how it is benefiting working women. Here you can think of mains question like the lack of affordable and quality child care services and maternity benefits aggravate gender inequalities comment. This question you can get some of the important contents for this type of questions in mains. Here this particular news is now appearing in the newspapers because today March 8th is celebrated as International Women's Day. The theme of 2022 International Women's Day is gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. Gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. This is the theme. With this theme, International Women's Day is being celebrated. Under this context, this news is highlighting the problems of India's informal workforce, female informal workforce. Here it is saying gender equality is still a far cry for India's female informal workforce. India has paid less attention to address concerns around child care support for informal women workers. Here let us take if you take formal sector and informal sector. In economy, we have two sectors, formal sector and informal sector. Here it is talking about female workforce and female workforce. This article mainly highlights the problems of informal sector. These are economic sector, formal and informal. Formal means here you will have proper documentation and legal procedure or legal process is followed in these particular sectors. Whereas in case of informal sector, it is not official. Government do not have any record of about these particular economic activities. If there is no proper accounting or proper records of these sectors in government records, it becomes very difficult for government to regulate the conditions of these sectors. Here in case of formal sector, government do have proper idea and data where government can give certain regulations to take care of female workforce in formal sector. And government of India has even brought certain measures also to improve the conditions of female workforce. Whereas in case of informal sector, no data with respect to this particular sector and no idea about proper conditions and also challenges that female workforce face in these informal sectors. This is the challenge where this article is trying to highlight the challenges and how some of the challenges can be resolved through various efforts. According to here, this article is first highlighting the data. According to 2018 study by ILO, International Labour Organization, more than 95% of India's working women are in informal sector. Now you can see the gravity of the situation. 95% of India's female workforce now working in informal sector. Only 5% of female workforce works in formal sector. Now if government takes certain measures, it affects hardly 5% of India's female workforce. Now still 95% of people not getting benefits out of any scheme that is brought by Government of India or state governments. This is what article is highlighting with evidence, with data. ILO 2018 study is saying 95% of India's working women are in informal sector, who works in labor intensive, low paying and highly precarious job conditions and with no social protection. Now you can see the problems of informal sector. Now this content you can use in different mains questions, like what are the challenges faced by informal sector, what are the challenges faced by female working men, working people in informal sector. One is about labor intensive, that means hard working, and also low paying, wages also low, very hard work in nature, and the protection also no protection for these people. These are all the various challenges due to lack of accounting in these sectors. WHO bulletin also say women's informal work is central to the feminization of poverty. Here this is a phrase, and this phrase also is useful for examination. Feminization of poverty means generally poverty has no gender. Poverty, the poor condition, men also can be poor, women also can be poor. But due to women's informal working nature, now poverty is also mostly seen in women group. So mostly poor people are identified with women who are working in informal sector. So this kind of phrase also is useful in mains examination. India is ahead of many advanced nations in instituting maternal health benefits, and its statutory maternity leave is among the global top 3. Here it is saying that here in case of India, already women working force under disadvantaged position. Now if they are mothers who are bearing the child, now during the childbirth, the women are going to be more advantaged, because now due to various requirements of women during the stage of childbirth, Indian government is giving certain benefits to those who are carrying, and maternal health benefits are also there. Accordingly, Indian government has passed a law, Maternity Benefit Amendment Act in 2017. According to this, paid maternity leave for women employees to 26 weeks for 6 months leave will be given to women, and that too paid maternity leave. Women need not to come to office directly, but still they are paid. And also others, like to work from home option is also there, they can work from home. On mutual agreement with employer, made Krishi facilities mandatory for establishment employing 50 or more women. Now you can see these are the benefits or regulations brought by Maternity Benefit Act 2017. Now if you take, these are applicable only for formal sector. Formal sector women workers constitute less than 5% of women workforce. Now what about 95% of women who are working and they do not have proper maternal health benefits? That is why maternity leave and other Krishi facilities and other health related benefits are not applicable to those who are working in informal sector. Lack of access to quality child care services is another major challenge. That is why women are not able to stand on their own independently. Another ILO study in 2016 pointed out that lack of access to quality child care services forces women workers to leave the labor force. Those who are working professionals, due to lack of quality child care services, they are quitting the job, and now quitting job once again make the women dependent on male members of family. Now it will reduce their status, and also it is making vulnerable in the society. Ceasing their earnings will not be there, and exposing themselves to the discriminatory employment practices at employment also due to child care facilities are not there, and many women cannot work continuously during childbirth or carrying time period, and to significant economic and health risks they are exposed to during these conditions. India has paid less attention to address concerns around child care support for informal women workers. This article is highlighting about informal women workers and also child care support. Here it is article is highlighting that here are three ways to enable women to take up more productive paid work and improve their maternal and child health outcomes. Maternal outcomes and also child health care outcomes can be improved based on three measures. One is extending ICDS infrastructure, and the second one revitalizing national Krishi scheme. Krishi is the center or facility center where children are taken care, while working women can go to offices and work there without worrying about their child care, and improving maternity benefits. These are the three aspects. If these three areas are strengthened, even informal women workers also can live decent life. This is the crux of this particular article. Expansion, one is about expansion of ICDS. Here it is saying that Anganwadi centers are the crucial centers of ICDS scheme. They take care of children and also pregnant women. They are providing maternal and child nutritional security and early childhood education. Here education and health. Health and education are two important major objectives of ICDS scheme. And at the local level, Anganwadi centers are the one who are taking care of these prime objectives. However, two limitations are there at present. First, it does not cater to children under the age of 3. Above age of 3, they are taking care, health and education. Second, it functions only for a few hours in a day. And that makes, once again, mothers need attention to their children. Early intake of children in Anganwadi centers. Article is trying to suggest if Anganwadi centers take care of these children below 3 years of age also, allow mothers time for paid work and converge with National Education Policy 2020. According to National Education Policy, it mandates quality early child care education for children in the age of 0 to 6 age group. So it purpose dual things. One is education also will go, and also it gives time for women who can go for work and get the salary for them. Extending the hours of Anganwadi centers can also address time constraints for working women. So it is talking about working time of Anganwadi centers and also covering children below the age of 3 years. That is one solution article is suggesting to improve the condition of informal sector women workers. Revitalize the Krishi scheme, that is another thing. National Krishi scheme lacks government funding. One is it is not giving sufficient funding. Public Krishis can be opened at worksite clusters such as near industrial areas, markets, which will be helpful for women. And also on trial basis models, already some of the organizations like Seva, Ajivika Bureau, they are running Krishi facilities. These are the facilities where children are taken care while women can go out and work. They allow for timely breastfeeding and attending to emergencies. Krishi facilities, the construction sector is a case in point where building and other construction workers welfare board mandates the running of Krishis. The funds collected under the construction cess can be earmarked running Krishis at construction sites. If these facilities are there, they are close to the working sites and women can attend for emergency thing without worrying about child care. Advantages: childbirth and childcare are financially stressful and compel many women to return to work within few weeks of childbirth. Even formal sector, according to government regulation, 6 months maternity benefit will be given. But due to financial stress, some women are forced to go to the offices or working places. Now in this case, child care will be affected. If Krishi centers are there nearby working places where women can work also, they can take care of children also nearby working places. And another third point is suggesting about more maternity benefits. What are the maternity benefits? Women in informal employment did not have maternity benefits until National Food Security Act 2013 was passed. And here pregnant women and lactating mothers to a cash transfer of at least 6,000 rupees were given. And also there is one more scheme, that is Pradhana Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. It also provide financial facility. It was launched, if we take this, if it was launched in 2010 and renamed in 2017. Under this scheme, pregnant women and lactating women, mothers are getting financial assistance. But this article is suggesting that this particular amount is not suitable, and if we calculate with respect to inflation, that amount is very meager, and this is making again mothers, by leaving their children at home, they were forced to go to work. Without the earning, they cannot run the family. And these are some of the state schemes which are having same objective of giving financial assistance to pregnant and lactating mothers. The cash transfers under this particular scheme are insufficient for nutrition needs and wage compensation. Whatever wages they are losing due to their stay at home, this particular amount is insufficient. Compensation is lower than minimum wages. Mothers cannot postpone 6 months by staying at home. The financial assistance is limited. It is not sufficient. Working women cannot afford to stay at home for a longer time period. This affects the child care. The amount also does not match an inflation adjusted National Food Security Act benchmark. So according to inflation also, this particular amount is not sufficient. Overall challenges: the lack of affordable and quality child care services, the lack of maternity benefits increase the burden on informal women workers. This is the crux of this particular article. It aggravates gender and class inequalities as well, putting women, girls and children at gross disadvantage. We should consider affordable and quality child care infrastructure as an employment linked benefit and as a public good. So this is the suggestion given by article to improve the condition of working women in informal sector. This particular article you can use in GS1 also, condition of women in informal sector, and what are the challenges faced by working women in general and particularly in informal sector. That is the important article that came in Hindu. There is another article. It is related to challenges of corruption in GS4, and in GS2 e-governance and limitations. This particular thing is like is a scam related to National Stock Exchange. This issue is also going on for so many days. Finally, yesterday, here the former MD and CEO of India's largest stock exchange was arrested by Central Bureau of Investigation. Under this circumstance, under this context, this particular editorial is given by the Hindu newspaper. Here first it highlighted the issue: alleged misuse of exchange data by market players, deployment of co-location services, lacunae in India's oversight mechanisms over its capital markets, governance lapses, failure to crack down on wrongdoings at NSE. These are the various issues this particular issue is talking. Here this particular issue is highlighting about failure of watchdog, here SEBI, failure of SEBI in cracking down such scams, and also governance lapses. Despite imposing penalties long ago, still the issue was not resolved. And lacunae in India's oversight mechanism on the capital market, and also it is questions are being raised about co-location services. These co-location services, These are offered by National Stock Exchange and they are permitted by SEBI. So they are legally acceptable, but some traders are given more accessibility to the data at the cost of other traders. This gives market operators willing to pay a premium, a head start on exchange trading data and refine their own algorithms for high frequency trades, but ostensibly misused by certain players. This is accessible, SEBI is allowing. Despite this, some people are misusing this particular option at the cost of other traders. National Stock Exchange case entails an unfair advantage provided to some brokers within its co-location user community. Those who are accessible to National Stock Exchange servers, they get data fast, they get more data fastly, and they can analyze through their algorithms and they can invest in the share market fastly comparing with the retailer traders who are not having that particular access or those who access lately. Certain players gain quicker and more information than the average retail investor. Against open market philosophy. This goes against the open market philosophy and this will affect the trust on stock market as well. Already in countries like India, many people do not invest in stock market. But a strong stock market is helpful in mobilizing the resources for economy, and these mobilized resources can be used for development purpose. If companies and industries get investment through stock market, they get a lot of investment and they can utilize the amount for development or providing manufacturing or providing more services, and in turn it is improving the economy, it generates more employment if more productivity or production activities takes place. But now due to this kind of scams, many people will not opt for this kind of investment. It affects the overall resource mobilization in the economy. The institutional mechanisms from the NSE's board and auditors to SEBI, an independent regulator accountable to Parliament, have not delivered is a large worry. Those institutional mechanisms, if there is any scam or if there is any challenge, if there is any issue, loophole is there, the institutional mechanism here, NSE board and auditors and SEBI, they should be able to solve it. But still they are not able to solve this, they are not able to deliver fastly. It is a large worry according to editorial. Nearly 3 years have passed between SEBI's 624 crore fine on NSE for misuse of its co-location services and latest order against its former top brass. Even though fines are imposed 3 years ago, but still they are not recovered. And due to this, Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) now arresting the people who are involved in this particular scam. Entire market comes under a cloud. Matter should have been treated with more urgency. The CBI Special Court has observed. Court also observed about the activities of SEBI, which began this probe in 2016 long ago, has been too kind and gentle. Court itself is saying about SEBI nature of working in dealing with this particular case. While CBI after filing an FIR in 2018 has been most like a bicycle. So it is questioning SEBI's nature of functioning also and also questioning about CBI's performance as well. With a new SEBI chief and government who led by finance minister who is reviewing handling the NSE case must ensure some deterrent action and review checks and balances in current governance structure. So finally, it is suggesting that new chief and government should work together and must ensure some deterrent action should be there and review the checks and balances in the governance structures of stock markets. This is about resource mobilization in GS3 paper, and also you can quote example of corruption in GS3. And even in GS4 also, you can use like high level corruption in stock markets. These are two important editorials and articles in the Hindu newspaper in today's newspaper. Thank you.